Alright, so today we are working more on the 1985 Honda ATC 110. Today we will be removing the cylinder head, trying to lap the valves to get a better seal. Alright, so this is the third time this head has been off, and yes, I did record the first two. The first time I had no idea what I was doing, the second time I had a general idea what I was doing, and this time I just knew it from like the back of my hand. So pretty much the problem is that these here valves don't want to seal. Now, why they don't want to seal is kind of unclear to me. They look pretty clean, I think, but as y'all saw from the previous time lapse on the last video, actually no, I didn't upload that video, but I made a time lapse and I will put that right here. So yeah, that had, as you saw, the liquid just totally drained out of it. They didn't want to seal at all. So pretty much what I'm going to do is take these valves out. Now, I've never really done any head work, so this will be interesting. This is the first time I've done it. There's my 10mm wrench. I've been looking for that. So yeah, I've never really done a lot of valve work, but I'm going to give this a try. And see if I can maybe lap the valves, get them to seal a little bit better. Now, the one encouraging bit after I messed around with this the second time is I got it from about 30 to I think around 50 to 60 pounds of compression. That is PSI. And the thing kind of tried, it seemed like it wanted to try and run, but it did not, because it still does not have enough compression. Now, as you can see, it's pretty clean in there because I spent some time going and just cleaning that out really well, but there is still something wrong with it. So yeah, I'm going to do some valve work and see if I can get these things to seal any better. So with a fair bit of effort, I got these little cap things off. So now we're entering territory of where I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never, as I said, never done valves, but I really don't know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna just start, I'm gonna record some of this. I'm gonna just start by, of course, that doesn't fit. Maybe this one will fit. There we go. Okay, well that's not happening. So, my question, I don't think the valves were just super loose. Well, you know what, I can't film this at the same time. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm gonna get this thing apart, and maybe that's somewhere in the right direction. I got the rockers out and the keepers. Just kind of pulled them out and slid them out with my fingers. Now, this is the part where my knowledge on this completely goes out the window, because, you know, you can kind of pull on the little keepers a little bit and they slide out, but how am I supposed to get these valves out? And more importantly, how am I supposed to get them back in? So I'm not really sure what I'm doing here with this. Something else I noticed is that this cam jar on the other side is pretty scored up. You can't really see it too well. Let me get the oil kind of out of the way. Now I think you can see it better. Yeah, see, that's kind of scored up. So if I can get into focus. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of, I don't know about that. But, oh no, it's not focusing back out. There you go. So I saw a video where a dude took a little like piece of tube and he notched it and he put it on top of this, pushed the valve down, and then got these little keeper bits out with a magnet. But I don't know how he did that. So again, I'm gonna just play around with it and then get back when I actually. So this is kind of like the tool the guy came up with. I need to bend that out a little bit, but it's just a piece of pipe. And the deal is you shove it over this and then you use a magnet to get that keeper out. So I'm gonna give that a whirl and then see if it works. All right, so that one only took me about 5 minutes to get out. So here's the head without the valves, and here are the valves without the head. The exhaust valve is a little bit, the surface is a little bit messed up, but like really, it doesn't look that bad. The only thing is there's just some like cheese down in there from something, I don't know. But anyway, probably just mud from the exhaust. But anyway, I'm gonna dump this whole deal in a little bit of gasoline, kind of soak it, then make up some lapping compound. There we go, and try to relap these. Here is Little Red 2.0. This is the second trike the guy had. This is an 82 ATC 110. Pretty much the same thing as that, but that's an 85. But this one is actually in better shape in a lot of ways. The front tire holds there. It's missing a couple engine parts, but I'm almost wondering if I could just borrow those off the other bike. The light works. This one still has the rack. The brakes are a little bit questionable, but who needs brakes? It's missing the carburetor, but I have a carb off this one. So I am always thinking about stealing a bunch of parts off this to put in this guy, because the plastics are also in better shape too. And if you notice, there's rivets there and stuff, and it's really faded on one side. But whereas on this one, the tank is faded, and yeah, the plastics are faded on both sides, but there's no brakes in them at all. So, I mean, this one's actually in good shape, and it's got the racks and everything. I don't know if those racks are stock, but yeah, I'm gonna pull it on in the shed and get to work swapping motor parts out. And I think first I'm gonna see if I can get this one to run, and if this one just won't do it, then tomorrow I'm gonna come out here and see if I can get the other one to run off of this one. All right, so you can't see anything right now, and that's the point, but I kicked this motor in gear and there's no plug in it, so it's really low compression, but watch this. The light works. All right, so as you can see, this is thing number 3 to fix one of these poor ATCs. So pretty much I didn't record any of this last night because it was just boring. Drove home, took apart the other ATC, and one of the valves was still bent. I think I have it over here. I'm not gonna bug us looking for that. But so then I found this little thing on Craigslist, actually on Facebook Marketplace, for like $50. And so I went and picked the thing up. It's a little Chinese 110 quad, and I'm gonna just take one of these motors, take this motor here, and just dump it in one of the ATCs, because I'm tired of all the stuff these stupid things have put me through. So yeah, I pulled one of the ATC carcasses outside, and now we're gonna do some wiring. Get this thing going. I'm not gonna film any of it because this video is already long enough. And yeah, so I'm gonna get. All right, I have absolutely no idea if this is gonna work, but I watched a video on the internet. I'll link it below because this dude kind of, well, he's gonna be a lifesaver if this works. But he pretty much showed you just a total like no BS way of hooking this thing up. So pretty much you have your stator here, or your not stator, sorry, CDI box. So what you do is you get the 5-pin connector, you cut the wires off, and then you're left with, well, guess what? 5 wires. Then, if you see here, you also have 5 wires. So theoretically, okay, what you're supposed to do is plug in, you know, X number of wires here and X number of wires there on the normal wiring harness. But with this method, what he said is pretty much plug in like, there's like 2 or 3 that go in here, and since this is 5-pin, you also have your coil over here. You have this green, and you have a black and yellowish, whitish, some kind of color wire. So I'm gonna give this a try and see if it works. If it does work, I'm gonna go start it up, clean the carb, you know, all that good stuff. But if it does not, I'm probably going to just keep working on it. So I think I actually got this wired up somewhat correctly. I just did a lot of wire matching and clamping and putting together, and so we're gonna give this a try. Big shout out to the guy over at it's like Fire and Gasoline, I think. You totally saved my ass on this one. So if you see this video, thanks a lot, man. This is great. And it'll be even better if it works, but you at least gave me a good idea of what I need to do. So I'm gonna go test this and pray for spark. Cross your fingers. All right, so wiring is done. We have spark. Now I just put the carb on and got that pretty much jerry-rigged enough to my liking. Now we're gonna go out and see if this little turd runs. It's a little bit fast almost. It kind of gets. I have all the rest of the plastics for it. I just haven't slapped those on. It runs like absolute junk though, and I'm trying to figure out why it's doing that. But you know what? I think I'm gonna end part 1 of this video off right here because it's gonna be a lot more footage and editing for me to do, you know, a bunch of other, you know, swapping this motor into the ATC. That's gonna take a lot of work to film, and I'm gonna leave that for a video as itself. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna cut it off here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram link will be in the description. Keep an eye out for part 2. It'll be here soon, and thanks for watching.